Hello, I'm Mario Toneguzzi with Retail Insider. Joining me today is Samir Kulkarni, who is CEO of Showcase. Thanks for joining us today, Samir.
Hello, Mario. How are you?
I'm good, but you're obviously even better, right? Because you guys, as a retailer, continue to expand your footprint. Let's talk about some of the recent happenings with you in terms of your U.S. expansion, and we'll start from there.
Sure, absolutely. Well, we were founded in 1994, and we were quite happy as a Canadian retailer for 20 years and essentially saturated the English Canada market by around 2019. And that's when we started our U.S. expansion. So we actually opened 10 stores in the Northeastern U.S. Just prior to the pandemic. Obviously, we got delayed a little bit by all of that, but we completed that pilot. And this summer, we're opening 27 more stores. So that would bring us to 37 in the US to add to the 109 that we already have in Canada. So it's a very exciting year.
Okay, what's your most recent opening and where?
We just opened in Park City, which is in Lancaster, Pennsylvania, and also Providence, Rhode Island.
Okay, super. When you look beyond this year's, Samir, well, first of all, let me just backtrack for a second. So in terms of the Canadian presence, you don't see that footprint growing anymore, or there's still pockets of opportunity for you?
There's definitely pockets of opportunity. We were really thrilled to open our Toronto Eaton Centre flagship last year, as well as our Western flagship in Chinook Centre. We have a great partnership with Cadillac Fairview, so we've opened some marquee properties. So we'll continue to look for pockets of opportunity, but to be fair, we're in 93% of Canada's malls, so English Canada's malls. We're not in Quebec. One day we hope to get there, but there's still pockets of opportunity in Canada.
Okay, and let's talk about the U.S. market. Obviously, it's a massive market there. Like, what are your plans for growth there? How many stores can you get to?
Right. We see that there's a 500 to 1,000 store market in the US, and
Wow.
That's just based on population. If we have 100 plus stores in Canada, we should be able to have 10 times as much in the US. And if you look at the history of retail in the US, there are several chains that have tried to build national presences, such as Brookstone in the past, Sharper Image back in the day. And we followed those retailers very carefully, but no one is really doing exactly what we do, which is to be the home of social media trends. And so we think the concept is fresh and unique for the US market. And so far, all seems to be going well.
Well, maybe Samir, if you can describe the concept and
Sure.
what it is and why it's so unique in the market.
Absolutely. So Showcase is really the home of the hottest trends, and our focus is on emerging trends in health, beauty, home, tech, toys, and food. And what I mean by emerging trends is products that come out of nowhere, products that enter the pop culture, enter the popular consciousness, usually through social media, but it may be through celebrities or some sort of advertising that really is the latest, greatest, hottest, newest thing. And usually the rest of the retail sector takes a little bit longer to come to market, to figure out these new trends, especially with social media driving the trends so quickly. And so what we do is we're able to identify those trends at record pace. And we have a vertically integrated supply chain, so we can commercialize the trend, get it onto the shelf in days or weeks. And so we become the first, the fastest retailer to launch a hot new trend. So if it's the hottest toy, we would hope to have that toy faster than the toy stores. Or if it's the hottest supplement, faster than the supplement stores. Or if it's the hottest beauty item, faster than all the beauty chains, and so on.
So how do you come to discover what the latest trends are? Like, do you have a process in place for that, or a system in place?
We really do. In fact, I'm more of a finance statistics guy than I am a retailer. So we've actually developed algorithms over the years to help us identify those trends. So on any given day, we're tracking 6 million potential trends to see which one is going to take off tomorrow in terms of search volume or social sentiment, or a tweet from a celebrity or something that may really drive that trend upwards. So we're tracking it very carefully. And then we have a very nimble supply chain to commercialize it. So what we can do is we replanogram our stores weekly. We reprice our stores daily based on what is hot and what is changing and what is trending in the market. We're listening very carefully to what consumers are telling us as well. And so that's what enables us to get product onto the shelf and to meet the needs of the consumer.
All right, super. Let's go back in time. Maybe tell me the story behind the founding of this concept.
Sure. So Showcase was founded in Edmonton, Alberta, back in 1994 by a brilliant entrepreneur, Amin Jivraj, who's still with the business today, one of the great deal makers in our industry. And I joined the business in 1998 as I was just finishing up business school. And I was in the States, came back to Toronto, and we had 12 stores at the time, and we've been growing the concept ever since. One interesting thing to note about our retail concept is that it's completely a corporate concept. So there's no franchisees or dealers. We own and operate our own stores. We take long-term leases in our malls so that we can really develop that national consistent experience. And so we've been based just outside of Toronto since the late 90s and having a blast.
So why did he find like what was the sort of the genesis to this, like the why behind him starting this?
Exactly. He in fact was in the oil and gas business as a process control engineer, so something completely different than retail. And he actually had ordered a product for his wife off of a television infomercial of all things.
Oh, yes.
And had really had quite the experience seeing some commercial, not really knowing what the product was about, and then being on hold with a 1-800 number trying to order it. This is again back in the 90s.
Yeah, yeah.
And then 8 weeks later, the product arrived broken, and he wasn't quite sure what to do with it. And he said, geez, there has to be a better way. What if we could have a local store that you could go to at your local mall and actually see the product before you buy it and try it and ask questions and watch a demonstration. And so that was really the genesis of the concept, which is to provide a fun and interactive experience for everyone who's walking through the mall to, see something new, discover something different. That's really what makes Showcase what it is.
So typically, Samir, the physical presence, what is the size of the store? What's the typical size for one of the stores?
About 1,500 square feet, and they're all in major shopping centers.
Yeah, yeah. And let's talk about the online presence. Has that grown quite a bit in the last few years?
Definitely, it's been growing. It really peaked during the pandemic, although what we've seen is a reversion back to more traditional levels of e-commerce. Yeah. But certainly our e-commerce is a critical part of the puzzle, although it's only about 10% of our total sales. So 90% of our sales are coming through our bricks and mortar stores. But what we find is that the e-commerce portal is really key to our marketing. So we have 2 million insiders in our loyalty club. We're sending out 100 million emails a year. We're advertising heavily on social media. We're one of Facebook's largest advertisers in Canada. And so all of that traffic drives to our website. Yeah. And so people can see what we have, what's new, what's in stock. They can also order same-day delivery through a national partnership we have with DoorDash. And so the e-commerce presence is absolutely critical, even though 90% of the sales may actually still happen inside the store.
Okay, I was going to ask you about the DoorDash partnership. How long have you had that in place, and why is that so important for you and your business, I guess?
Yes, well, during the pandemic, especially in certain regions that were locked down, many retailers had to move to curbside delivery. We actually stayed open as an essential service, which is another story regarding a PPE pivot in 2020. But after that, we essentially had to move to curbside delivery only. And the challenge for a mall retailer, of course, is we don't have a curb. And so curbside delivery becomes a bit challenging. And so we reached out to DoorDash and worked out a national partnership about a year ago. And so now we can offer same-day delivery right from our local store. So just imagine in some rural markets, we're in Grand Prairie, Alberta, or Prince George, BC, to be able to deliver in a couple of hours from store to home is pretty neat. That's something that even some of the large e-commerce retailers can't do. And so that partnership has been critical to really offer that last mile delivery, which is there as a nice convenience for those who want it. Of course, the majority of people want to walk into a store, walk into the mall, see what's new.
And Talk about a little bit, Samir, about the online shopping that you have.
Mhm.
Tell me a little bit about how that operates and why that's an important element of Showcase.
Sure. So our e-commerce platform is Shopify. We were one of Shopify's first enterprise customers, probably 7 or 8 years ago now. So we've been growing with that platform, and our Shopify platform really allows us to showcase all of our products, check store inventory levels, watch our videos, because we have a lot of content creation, a lot of social media influencers who are demonstrating products. And so it's a very interactive experience to go onto our website. And then, of course, you can also, check store inventory, and then that would drive traffic to store where that's relevant.
Okay, super then. Um, when you look at the landscape, the retail landscape today, what are your thoughts about the strength or the health of retail right now?
Well,
In a
retail is certain.
in a general sense, not just
Sure.
the showcase.
Sure. So retail certainly is in a dynamic time. There's no doubt about it. I think that there was the issue of lockdowns and closures and reopenings, and then now is the fallout from that, which is all of the supply chain challenges. Tracing right back to source in Asia, where there are lockdowns and rolling closures that are happening. Even yesterday, I heard about another major one in China. So the supply chain issues continue for sure.
Yeah.
And so in terms of the state of retail, I think that retailers need to really step up. Of course, they need to do a lot more than probably they were used to doing pre-pandemic. And I think that agility wins. So the retailers that are agile, that are able to spot the opportunities, that are able to pivot to the new reality, are the ones that succeed. And so we like to think we have a core competency there. So that certainly helps us navigate the troubled waters right now.
Okay, and from a consumer's point of view, what do you think today's consumer is looking for from a retailer?
I think they want entertainment and a sense of satisfaction that they don't get online. And so if you have a shopping list and you simply want to buy these 8 items on your list, then there are great websites where you can do that. And more power to those websites, because they keep the costs low and make it convenient for everyone. And it's a great experience. The thing is that people want more than that. They don't want to just buy 8 items on their shopping list and call it a day. They want to discover. They want to socialize. And that's where retail can really play a massive part in the community, especially major malls, where people go, they congregate with friends and family, they go see the latest trends in fashion or gadgets or whatever it may be, and they grab a bite to eat, they may catch a show. And so it's a social experience, which is something very different than what a website can provide.
Yeah, you bet. All right. Well, thanks very much, Samir, for joining us today.
Thank you, Mario. Always great to see you.
All right, super. That was Samir Kulkarni, who is CEO of Showcase. I'm Mario Toneguzzi with Retail Insider. Thanks for joining us today.